Hi, I'm Jim Smith. This is the 1000. Welcome. So this is our post-election analysis. I think the first thing we have to do is stop underestimating Mr. Trudeau. We did ourselves a great disfavor with the shiny pony and the good hair and all that sort of stuff, and he sucked us into it. There's no doubt about it. Um, he's a very presentable young man. As I said before, everybody's young compared to me. He's not a young man. He's a man in his prime of his life. And he's going to get a chance to build this country into one country. Now, the Liberals have been incredibly divisive over the years because they've used gun control as an issue in the urban areas, even though any polling will tell you that there is really not a heck of a lot of vote support for gun control that the Liberals don't already have. So this is one of the great mysteries of this whole thing, is why you would do something that just totally destroys your ability to be credible in a substantial portion of the country to get votes you already got. You're not getting any more. You won't get one. Bob Blair, sorry, you won't get one more vote by no matter how totalitarian a gun control system you put forward. You've got all those votes. Or you and the NDP, you can fight back and forth between them, but there's no more votes to be had. If you want to get a government of national unity, you've got to get me and my friends on side, and you're not going to do it by the sort of stuff you're proposing, your youth looking for the Australian pattern of gun confiscation. To begin with, we'll talk about the Australian situation because it's really ridiculous. But we'll do a special program on that. We won't talk about it now. But all sorts of proposals, canceling C-42, bringing back the long gun registry through the backdoor registry, all that sort of stuff. This isn't going to win you any votes. It's going to confirm amongst the people that didn't vote for you. Remember, you didn't get that many votes. You got the same number of votes Mr. Harper did in his majority in a percentage point of view. Still, well over 2/3 of Canadians did not vote Liberal. Now, they used to use this in Mr. Harper, so I'm going to use it on them. Well under 2/3. In fact, it's not much over a quarter of all Canadians voted Liberal. And I'm talking eligible voters. You get the people that are too young to vote in, and it becomes even more ridiculous. So you have a majority, but you have a minority of the people. Now, I happen to believe that not voting is a legitimate decision, so I don't want people forced into voting. But as you work your way forward on this thing, what you have to realize is he only had about 1 in 4. And of those, there's a good 10% of the electorate, 1.5 million, 2 million people, somewhere around there, that are very fickle in their voting. They move around. In the United States, the elections are controlled only by 4%. But up here in Canada, it's about 10% of the voters that actually control the election. And what we have to do is concentrate on that 10% and figure out what we need to do to get them back in our camp by hook or by crook. We got to get them. And that's one of the things we're going to look forward in the 1000. The question I put forward to you, and I want you to think about this because the dialogue begins now, is how do we get the 10% of the voters that are not philosophically attached to any party, but who go around on issues like image, relatively trivial issues like marijuana legalization and stuff like that. How do we work our way through to them, and how do we get, quite frankly, in our own community, the people that sit on their hands, and a lot of them are hunters and maybe the spouses of people who are shooters, who just either don't vote, and that's a really serious concern, or vote based on really non-substantive issues. We have to work on educating them, and that's what we're going to do going forward the 1000. I'm not going to educate them. I'm going to educate you, and you're going to educate them. That's how it's going to work. Okay? Thanks. So this has been our episode. Thanks for dropping by. Please subscribe if you haven't. Support us and share if you can. And hey, go there and get some shooting done. Have some fun. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Jim Smith. This is the 1000. So this is our post-election episode series. and I'm shooting this myself. I don't have my producer running the camera, so we'll see how these things turn out. I'm kind of a little nervous, but that was a very interesting election. It really was. And as we work our way forward, we have some things to do. And one of the things, the first thing that crossed my mind was Justin Trudeau got a lot of votes away from the Greens on the NDP with marijuana legalization. And I got to admit, I got somewhat mixed feelings about this because I'm in chronic pain, and some of my friends have said that maybe marijuana might help my pain. And as a non-drug user or illegal drug user, I'm going like, that's really interesting. I don't know what the answer to that is. But remember what he said he's going to do. He was going to decriminalize the simple possession of marijuana. Now, my question that we have to put forward is, why would you decriminalize the simple possession of marijuana and you won't decriminalize the simple possession of a firearm? And I think these issues are exactly equivalent. So going forward, what I want you to think about is kind of our first issue, our wedge issue, if you will. When the decriminalization of marijuana comes up, ask people, why would you be in favor of decriminalization of marijuana, a simple possession of marijuana, and you're not in favor of decriminalizing the simple possession of a firearm? It's a hard question for them to answer because it's certainly the drug business is responsible for way more casualties every year than the firearms business is. So we'll see how it works out. So that's our episode for today, just a little quick one. Thanks for dropping by. Share if you can. Subscribe if you haven't. The1000.ca is our website. There's communication information there. And hey, go out and get some shooting done. Have some fun. Bye-bye.